if we screwed a match, we screwed a match. It's a roguelike, right? And it's like, all right, cool. I'm usually the bad player that people don't want to play with. So it's like, okay, like if I'm the problem, I kind of like this. And that sounds way worse than it really is. But
again, I did this. We were trying to pass time in the car ride back from Vegas. So this proved to be a easy, like, hey, what's yours? Why? And then like, anyway,
So, do you want me to explain the premise to our listeners, or do you want to do that?
Sure. It's not much. I saw it. I think there was a trend of something. I saw one YouTuber do it, and they're like, "Oh, I saw another YouTuber do it, so I'm doing it." I'm like, "Oh, fun! This is like that. When people take BuzzFeed quizzes and stuff."
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it feels like.
Or tier lists that, like, "Oh, what's my tier list for this?" Like, I like a little bit of that personality thing of it, but it's essentially an about me video games is the framework of it on a website called grids.fun. And there's all kinds of grids on that page. There's like anime ones, there's movie ones, there's all kinds of music ones, like whatever, pop culture or nerdy thing you can think of, they have a framing of. And after a drive back from Vegas for MagicCon with a few friends, I was like, "Oh, this let's go around the car and do this, and just like help kill the 6-hour drive."
Yep. Yeah.
And so it's like, what is it? 20
spots.
20 categories, and they range. There are a variety of different like framings of like the game I think is most overlooked, or the game I love the soundtrack, like the best of, or your favorite or something. And I thought it'd be a fun like, hey, let's just go back and forth and do that, but minus the Vegas drive.
Yeah. Now we get to actually sit in our offices and do the podcast without, having to be on a drive. Which, I mean, that can also be fun unless there's some contentious picks.
No. It was very interesting how people interpreted categories, and I think I'm curious if any of that happens for us too.
Got it. Okay. Since you're the veteran of this, how did you guys do it? Like, did you just pick a random spot on the grid and start, or did you go from like top to bottom, bottom to top kind of thing?
I mean, it was left to me to decide last time with them, but like I pretty much saved the I don't know. I started from the bottom and went up.
Okay.
Just because I felt like the top one, especially the top left corner one, is like the finale in a way. But yeah, I don't know. What do you want to do?
Let's start from the bottom. The thing that gets me though is like I think the top left is not going to be a surprise to either of us. Like I think I know yours. I think you know mine, but
I don't know. I think it narrows down, but to say one is hard.
Okay.
For any of these, but well, I guess again another question: Did you have? I had none that overlap. Like I picked one game per thing. Did you have any that like?
I got 3 that overlapped.
Oh, okay.
Or no, I got one. I got one that overlapped 3 positions. So that's
okay. Got it.
Yeah.
That's fun. All right, let's start then. Jay, what is a game everyone should play?
To literally no one's surprise, I want to say Stardew Valley. I think I know cozy games are not everyone's thing. I think that historically, as a piece of like, as an artifact of sort of game manufacture, I think Stardew Valley is something everyone should play. One, because it's a love letter. It's a fan game created by a single person that created something so pivotal that it is a lot of people's favorite game. Right. And it's a game that crosses a lot of boundaries. Like it's almost gotten the kind of traction of, there's grandmas that play Stardew Valley, but then there's a bunch of like Gen Z kids that play Stardew Valley. And there's this weird cross section that I always find in social media that I'm like, yeah, I get it. And so it's like whenever there's a game that people are like, man, I want to get into gaming. What should I play? I'm like, Stardew Valley. Okay. You'll get something. There's combat. There's grind. There's social mechanics. There's everything. So, yeah.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah. How about yours, bud? What is the game that everyone should play according to Cujo Prime?
So I typically give one answer, but like I want to put a little bit more of a me spin on it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
my normal answer is, and this is I'm trying. This isn't my answer, but I usually say Journey. I think Journey is such yeah. If you don't know any mechanics of games, if they're too daunting, or if you don't understand, or if you want to get a perspective of like what the story could do with in a creative way. It doesn't have to be cinematic. It doesn't have to be retro. It could be all kinds of stuff. I think that typically does it. But there's a game that's very much like that, but I think with a little bit more of a tension to it that I liked. That like I was like, ooh, this would be a great like game. I think everyone should experience, and that's Play Dead's Inside. It can be done in 1 to 2 sessions, maybe like just a weekend. It's like 5 hours, maybe at most. You go from left to right, and there's a story going on. There's no dialogue, and like it is gripping. The scale of it is beautiful. It does so much with so little. And I think it's not doing too much where you don't like. It's not easy, but it's also not hard. There's enough challenge there to give you sense of points of friction and challenging. And it just kind of, to me, encapsulates a lot of what games can do.
Okay. Inside, really. You don't think the aesthetics might be off-putting to some people? Because it does have kind of like not a overtly like horror vibe, but kind of spooky suspense vibe.
It does, and that's why I was a little hesitant to pick it at first, because I think Journey's a little bit more happy, but like I think, I mean, there's such, I don't know, lately I've been on this horror kick of like, I don't know horror, but I'm realizing horror is so, like, people are drawn to horror, and I think maybe that's the way to entice someone, is like, hey, this got a little bit of a spook vibe to it. It's not outright scary, but it is eerie. And I think people might be inclined to that. My only reservation with yours was, I think, and it's similar to a game I just reviewed, Mina the Hollower. I think people are very like, I'm either into or not into retro looking games.
That's fair. Yeah, that's 100% fair. Because it's like there's some people that see pixel art and immediately discount it, which I'm like, oh. As a pixel artist, I feel obliged to defend myself there. But
yeah, we can get into that in a whole subject. But then speaking of our past and stuff, let's keep going down that route. Nostalgic childhood game.
Oh man, yeah. So this one was actually surprisingly easy for me, but I don't think a lot of people would guess this game, and it's mainly tied to my childhood. So this is the first video game I ever beat on my own. It was the Nintendo Super Dodgeball. Yeah.
Okay.
Mainly because I played that game a lot with my brother, whom I bring up on the podcast quite a bit. But like that was a game where he beat me like relentlessly. And so like it drove me to get better, and then I started playing against the computer, and then I was beating the computer relentlessly, and then I somehow inadvertently beat the game. And I've like going through the entire list of games, which I'm pretty sure you know some of the ones that are on my list. This was the only one that I think I've beaten the most. Like literally, like when it came to retro, I would re-download it and then beat it. When I had the access to the first time I ever had access to an emulator, this was the first game I sought out. And so that was where it was like, okay, yeah, that's because I still remember sitting in front of my giant fat TV that was on a TV cart, like sitting on the floor playing this game, being like, okay, if I do that, I can beat my brother with this, right? And just like like obsessing over the skill set. Like that was my first sweaty game. Yeah, if they had a grid for that, that would be mine.
Sweaty. Spoilers, there's no grid spot for sweaty games.
There is no sweat grid, unfortunately. We should make that though. I feel like we should. All right, bud. What's your nostalgic childhood game?
The first time I saw a photon cannon killing a Zergling, I fell in love with the StarCraft battle chest, and I like this was the first time I consciously was like, there was kids games on computers, but this was the first time I was like, ooh, I want to go buy a PC game. I want to install it. I want to log on. I want to play this like StarCraft. And there's this like 3 races. There's these alien Zerglings. There's these Protoss like higher alien life forms than the human terrain or Terran.
Yeah.
And the photon cannon. Like I just saw my friend do black sheep wall, show me the money, all these codes, and then just build infinite photon cannons into a base. And I was like, oh, what is this?
That's
and
cool.
Then logging onto a 56K modem to play online on a computer that had 700 megahertz processor with like a 2 gig hard drive. I still remember that PC. I was able to play StarCraft 1 on that thing. And
oh man.
I have many childhood memories, good and bad, with that game.
Okay.
Holds a special place for me.
So speaking of like older games, that man, this works really well.
Yeah,
now,
it's like I thought this out.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because like the grids are right next to each other, and it almost ends up being the same category, but so like
sort of.
Yeah, it's like the best retro game, right? And it's like I feel like we need to sort of have a discussion of like what the definition of retro is.
What's your definition of retro?
I would say that anything that like is a game that was probably within your first generation of games. That's what I'm classifying as retro. So it's like I'm thinking like Duke Nukem, Commander Keen kind of stuff on like my old like crappy Macintosh, and like Nintendo and Game Boy stuff. And so, yeah, I don't know. What do you think of that definition? Like stuff that's just like really, really deep in the catalog.
Well, I guess in the same way, and I'm not doing this to like make myself sound younger, but
no, you're younger. It's fine. I'm old as hell, dude. It's fine.
No.
No.
No. Hold on. I just mean in the viewers' eyes, not you and I. But I know so much of today. You're like, I'll put on the oldies, and it just starts playing the Macarena. Right. And I'm like, yeah, no, exactly.
How dare
you? I grew up with that.
How dare you, sir?
But so I guess I just dated it as something that I think if you told someone this game that didn't know you or wasn't in your social circle about this game, they would be like, damn, that's an old game.
Yeah.
And so I kind of had a broader net for it.
Ooh, okay. Shit.
And I'll explain a little bit, but do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Let's change it up. Why don't you go first on this one? I'm curious about your definition.
So I think it's quite old. It was when I was a little kid, and N64 was like the real first console I owned. And I think retro, in a way, is like we always think of 8-bit or pixel in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But I think there's something retro about like those old polygon, like the PS1, the N64 era of 3D.
Yeah.
And so that era of 3D, everything being very so blocky, I was like, okay, I think N64 can qualify here.
Okay.
So that was like my justification for counting N64. But the game that I loved one of the most back then was WCW NWO Revenge.
Okay.
It was my Smash Bros before Smash Bros.
Nice. That's amazing.
Yeah. So I love that game, and that was like my favorite retro game.
Okay,
I guess.
Cool. Who got you? Did you just like you were already into wrestling at that point, right? So it was one of those things where you like.
It was a weird thing of like I look back at some of the things I liked back then. I liked Power Rangers. I liked Godzilla. I liked combat, like, and there was a lot of fighting there.
Yeah.
And then I liked Ultimo Dragon and Rey Mysterio in wrestling, and I'm like, these are very performative, like larger than life characters in a real like in a stage or in a performance area. And I was like, there's through lines between all these things I like, and eventually like, and then games too. So I was like, oh, I couldn't find I did play the SNES Godzilla games, but to then be like an actual combatant in a 3D way, and then be like, oh, this is me, and you go fight. Like this was the most like grapple intensive like fighting game I knew back then. So it all kind of came together in a big swirl for me. Okay,
I dig it.
What about you?
So mine is it is of the Nintendo era, and this one is like one of those ones where I'm like, God, I kind of hope it needs a remake. It's not my one for needs a remake, by the way, but it is definitely one of the ones where I'm like, I would love a like almost HD 2D remaster of this particular game.
Okay.
It's Rampage.
Oh my God, I love Rampage. That game was so satisfying.
Yeah, man, like that just hits so good, and it's like I love the mechanics of it, where it was literally like there's no level, you're just trying to destroy things, right? Like the destroying of things is the level. There isn't the classic sort of side scroller of it all. It's literally just like, here's a screen, here are the buildings, go, right? And it's like, like I've played that in the arcade. Yes, that makes me old because arcades existed when I was a child. Screw you, internet. But it was great. And I played it at home. When I got it at home, I was over the moon. I was like, you mean I don't need more quarters? Are you kidding me? Let's go. And I played the crap out of it. So yeah, that's my big retro game.
Okay. Nice. We got our next one. This is going more in the social kind of space. Similar to arcades. What is a game that is best with friends, Jay?
So this one kind of came hands down for me. It was Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
Really?
Yes. Okay, so I say this because it is probably the most coordinated my friend group ever had to be. Because of the mechanic of you had to carry around a lantern and everyone else was a fighter in the group, and then you would exchange between it. But even beyond that, you are talking about a bunch of like kids having to figure out how to connect their Game Boys to a GameCube, and then like get the game and then have everyone in the same space. Like, as an adult, just trying to get my friends in the same room is already a gargantuan effort, and we have the power of technology and calendars. Getting school children to do that stuff, best with friends. Like, that is like it. We literally felt like we were landing on the moon when we got that game working. And then we basically did not sleep until that game was done. I've never achieved that kind of co-op ever again. And it was like same room friends, right? Like sitting there next to them. This was a hard one because there is a game that we are personally friends over that I could have easily put that there, but yeah, no, that was like in person with friends. That's how I took that definition. Crystal Chronicles, easy.
Crystal Chronicles, but yes, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate easily took this spot for me in this list. Yeah. I mean, you could put a lot of Monster Hunters there, but I think that one specifically was where I hit it the hardest with playing with friends, making friends, being friends, and finding friends and stuff.
Well, you became a pillar of the community because of that game.
I am a village elder, according to the canvas a few of our old friends put together. But yeah, no, that game, I don't think of Monster Hunter like it was. I know friends that play this game very solo, and it's almost like a Souls-like or Souls adjacent in that way because there is a difficulty to it. It's like just boss fights at that point. And I admire them for that. But like everything I think about with Monster Hunter just is like play with someone. This has to be played with a person besides just me.
Yeah. I get that. That's a good pick. I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So next
where do you turn your brain off?
Okay, so this is my first repeat, right? We're only on the first row, and I'm already in my first repeat. Stardew Valley again. Like I literally played that game on a 5-hour flight just because I knew I could turn my brain off for 5 hours playing that.
Okay.
And it is the go-to. Like because so much of that game is just do the thing, and then you look up and you're like, shit, it's 2 a.m. So yeah, Stardew Valley. Yeah, I know. I definitely have a bias. It will come back. There is one more time that it happens. So,
Stardew Valley will return in Avengers Endgame.
Exactly. Pretty much. It's just like, oh, you just didn't have a good choice. No, literally, it occupies that much of my brain. So yeah, Stardew Valley. How about yours, bud? What turns your brain off?
I like to click the thing and see the number go up and things go boom. And Diablo 4 does that better than many games these days. That is such a turn off for my brain, and just even when I like have like a build whatever I'm working towards. Yeah. Once I get it's almost like a flow state. I think turn brain off can be like just.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Very. There's a relaxing quality to it, or a low effort required to it, but there's also like a flow state to it. And I thought of a few other games too, but like nothing hits me the way that game does on the just turn my brain off.
Yeah. No,
and so that hits it stronger than any other ones I had.
Very cool. Not the one I was expecting from you. Very cool.
Really?
Well,
Okay.
The one I'm expecting from you, I think, is further up the list. But I thought it might have been your turn my brain off game. So,
I have a guess as to what your guess is.
Yeah.
This is turning into mental chess.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Let's go.
Okay. So are we going directly up or back across?
Let's go back across because the direct ups gets into like serious stakes.
Does it?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay. So what's not usually your thing?
Visual novels are usually not my thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
so I will put the new contender there, mixtape.
Okay.
Because genuinely, I have a pretty large portion of my Discord server that are like in love with visual novels. They talk about it. They're like, this is the best thing. I'm like, it's kind of the kind of crap that people were throwing at mixtape. I'm like, it's not gamey enough for me. Right. But then like mixtape, everything about it kind of drew me in. And I was like, well, it's not usually my thing, but let's go. Right.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, it's up there. So
yeah, no, I now that you mentioned that, I didn't think of visual novels as a whole. I think in that vein, the closest thing that would ring for me before mixtape would have been 1000X Resist. I was very unsure of me even wanting to broach that, but then when I did, I was like, oh my god, this game's so wow. Nice. But what's not usually my thing, I wouldn't say, I'm not going to outright say JRPGs, but I think the slice of it's like the slice of life social ranking day. Like, here's your day, go to the next day. Who do you want to talk to? What do you want to do?
Okay.
And it's a game I've restarted, I think, 4 different times. Before the 4th time, I played like 150 hours to finish it, and I love it so much. I love it very much. It's Persona 5 Royal.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah, like I like JRPGs very much. I like RPGs.
Yeah.
Just like in all its forms. But something about that one initially was off-put. Like that Persona franchise as a whole, I should say, was like, I don't want to do just the social stuff.
Yeah.
And like the style of it really grabbed me. And then from there,
pretty, dude.
Yeah, everything that's been said can just be said again about it. But like, it just oozed style, and then I was like, you know what? If there is one, I'll try this one. And eventually, like, I was able to put enough of the time and energy to dedicate to it, and I don't regret it. I very much resonate with me.
Very cool. Okay, all right. I wonder if that sprungboard you into playing some of the other Persona-like games. That what was the one that came out? Metaphor, yeah. Because like
it definitely encouraged me to be more confident about what I was getting into from that team and studio. But that one also oozes style, and so I was like, okay, I'm very. It's made me actually. It hasn't done anything, but I'd say it hasn't made me. It has. I thought I'd be more into the other Personas. There's just something about this one specifically that I feel very strong towards.
Yeah.
And I'm still somewhat reluctant, though curious about 3 and 4. I've heard great things about both.
Yeah.
In their own right. But one day maybe.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, when you have 150 hours free to play games.
You know, we need to address that. I'm having an intervention with myself.
Great. Okay.
What is the best multiplayer game for you?
Night Rain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, so this is the thing. Is like, again, Monster Hunter easily could have been in there.
Monster is just like, what are you doing to me, man?
It's in the goatees. It's in the top tier. Trust. Just trust it's there.
No, I know.
But because like I realized something when I was kind of combing through like the multiplayer games I play. Like Night Rain's the only one that I've enjoyed pretty consistently with like a bunch of characters with a different variety of friends. Right? It's like with Monster Hunter, I had the problem of there were some of my friends that were not very good hunters, and I would like not want to play with them. Whereas like with Night Rain, if we screwed a match, we screwed a match. It's a roguelike, right? And it's like, all right, cool. I'm usually the bad player that people don't want to play with. So it's like, okay, like if I'm the problem, I kind of like this. And that sounds way worse than it really is. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised of how far it jumped up the list with me as far as like who I'd like. Yeah, like my best multiplayer experiences have actually been in Night Rain. So
no, yeah, that one I definitely can attest to some of that feeling myself, because I don't think I would have as much fun. Yeah, that just wouldn't sing the same way solo. It's very much a hey, play this with friends or in a social atmosphere in some way.
100%. Yeah. How about you, bud? What is
this
your
was
best
this was a
multiplayer?
tough one.
Okay.
It was a toss up between two, but I ultimately went with one that I'm like I get kind of like the Monster Hunter one I did with Best with Friends. I can't have experienced it any other way, I don't think.
Okay.
And that's Divinity Original Sin 2.
Okay.
I think those CRPGs, more of them, like if there's one thing I want out of every CRPG, it's that they need to have multiplayer. I'm looking at you, Chaos Gate.
Yeah.
Because after Divinity Original Sin 2, I was like, I want every one of these to be that way, and then Baldur's Gate 3 followed, and it's such a fun experience playing that in a multiplayer setting.
I can see that.
Yeah. So
that's very cool
for me. All right, buddy. This one I'm very curious what you pick, because I know you have such a good rapport with different types of music and games, especially. What is the best soundtrack for you? My
friend, this is where the three-peat comes in. It's I'm telling you, it's Stardew Valley. I'm sorry. Okay, the first video game vinyl I bought was Stardew Valley. Like the first physical record for a video game that I got was Stardew Valley. It is on massive rotation in our house. My wife enjoys it as well. It has just so much it sucks, dude, because I have Final Fantasy, I have Expedition, I have all these other amazing games, and this is the one that I keep listening to. I'm almost mad that it's my favorite soundtrack. Do you get me? I'm actually upset about this.
You sound so frustrated right now.
But it's it's been in my Spotify top list so often that it's literally just you listen to this too much. And I was like, I get it. I understand. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right. What is your favorite soundtrack?
Congratulations, Stardew, for this. This has inadvertently turned into a Stardew.
It has, dude. I've tried to sell you on this game, and you know what? I know better. It's fine. If you
I admire how strongly. All jokes aside, I admire how strongly a game resonates with someone, and so for something to hit on so many different boxes, I think it says something to the game and to the person as well. So. You're
judging me. It's fine.
I'm not judging you. I feel like you're gonna judge me for mine, because I feel like mine's a cop out.
Okay, let's hear. No, because you have good musical taste. I'm curious what your best soundtrack is.
This is a cop out. This is such a cop out. I know it's a cop out.
Okay,
I picked it because it's a cop out.
All right.
So I think a lot of Nintendo games have a lot of amazing music, and I couldn't pick one. So I picked the game that has them all. So I picked Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Hey,
game the game, baby.
Yeah, but I mean, it does have some really cool orchestral pieces and remixes and stuff like that they put in for the levels. So I'm not hating on that. I actually never thought to look up the Super Smash Brothers soundtrack.
Dude, it's just it's the greatest hits of Nintendo. It's you want the best Zelda songs, you want the best Mario songs, you want the best Kirby songs, every one of these franchises, they're all there.
That's kind of amazing.
I cheated.
No, you know what? Game respect game. That's solid.
All right, let's go into characters now.
Yeah, I'm hyped.
Who's your favorite antagonist?
This was very easy. If you can believe that. Final Fantasy 3, Kefka.
Oh, hell yeah.
I have never hated a character as much as I've hated Kefka, and that includes Algus from Tactics.
Damn.
Because Algus was a side character. He wasn't even a real boss. He was a side boss. Kefka freaking ended the world. He succeeded, he ended the world, and then he still got his ass beat. that's why he's the goatee of antagonists. Like,
yeah, much respect. I've never played 3, but I will say of my lack of Final Fantasy just rapport with the whole franchise, he has been the one that I've been most captivated by, and probably my favorite commander deck.
Okay.
Both from a visual and art style and like just the essence of the character, but also he's so mischievous and evil to play as in the game too in Magic.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I like to be evil with you.
Well, and he also captures my favorite thing, which is the mad clown, right? Like, I've always enjoyed Joker's characterization, and Kefka just felt like the JRPG version of it, and I was like, oh, I'm into it. Let's go. So, also, you haven't played FF3. We're going to come back to that.
That's a good point. A good point. I got a lot of games to play. I told you there was going to be an intervention.
There has to be. I'll start writing my letter, buddy.
Okay, so for me, this one hit kind of in the same way, in some ways similar. What I like about this character, I would say, is similar to what we talked about just now with Kefka, and that's the Skull Kid from Majora's Mask. I very much love the artistic design of him, the colorful presence, very gesture-like, very mischievous as a character. But in this one, I guess a little difference is that the Skull Kid himself is a little bit of like an empathetic character.
Yeah,
of like he's lost and kind of alone and falls prey to the mask.
Yep, and
becomes a vessel for it in a way, and there's just something just grabbing me so much of how he behaves, how he acts, and how he is in that game. It's from my childhood. I've loved that character, and one of the reasons I love that game so much.
That's awesome. That's a good pick. I didn't even think to put Skull Kid on that list. But
Kefka is rightfully up there.
Whatever, sir. You haven't played the game. No, okay.
My God, I played a lot of Commander games with him. Okay,
you know what? I will say this: that is not a game that I think that like you have to play. I'd be totally cool with you watching a full Let's Play of just like because like the combat is like Final Fantasy, so it's like it's boilerplate turn based. There isn't anything like mind blowing. The story though is like so good. So yeah.
Okay. Just opposite of antagonist. Who's your favorite protagonist?
This one I kind of struggled with because I had honorable mention I kind of want to put out there is Frog from Chrono Trigger. The thing is, he's not the primary protagonist, right? Like Chrono Trigger's kind of an ensemble, but if you're really to be very specific, it was Chrono as the protagonist. So my actual pick, where I actually really sort of drilled it down to who I think it should be, Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2.
Really?
Yeah. He's the nuance of this sort of bandit turned good guy turned just trying to like get through life was just, oh man, dude. Like, I can't play Red Dead Redemption 2 again because it won't feel the same. It won't feel the same as the first time I played it. I won't start like tearing up when he dies. Like, spoiler alert.
I know that, and I'm still. No, you're good. It's been time. It's been time. But, it's a game that I've want to play. I've yet to play through the Red Dead games.
I am so excited for you to play that game. I kid you not. It is like watching a really good film. That's the best way I can put it towards you, who I know is like such a film nerd. It is one of the like most cinematic sort of game experiences.
Awesome. No, that's a great pick. I think you picked a solid one.
Nice.
I turned my brain off a little bit.
Okay.
And I think this character is such like the when you think of action heroes in film, there's a few names that just instantly pop up. And when I think of action heroes in games, he is like the guy that pops up.
Okay.
That's Doom guy.
Okay. All right.
I was just like,
that's a good pick.
Nothing kills Doom guy. Doom guy just does everything. I don't know. He's like the Terminator. He's like Arnold. He's
a force of nature.
He's a force of nature. 100%. Well put. Yeah. And I was like, all right, easy. I'm not gonna overthink this.
That's You know what? Yeah, I fully agree. That is a fantastic pick for protagonist. Okay, so we're into the top 2 rows now.
Yeah, we're halfway.
So this one I'm very curious. Like, I don't know if you're gonna pick something real random or if because we all have our own experiences in video games. I feel like mine's probably super random. Like,
mine's something I rarely talk about.
Okay, then I want to hear yours first. Criminally overlooked game. What is yours, sir?
It's from the team Q Entertainment. This was the game I think I put into my DS the most.
Okay.
My eyes were bleeding playing this game.
Okay.
Figurative speaking, not really.
Okay.
I didn't say it just as a disclaimer.
Good disclaimer, yeah.
I love this game, and I was like, why is this not in the echelon of puzzle games? And that's Medios. It was like line them. Are you familiar with Medios?
I am familiar with Medios. Yeah, because I had a huge puzzle game kick back then.
Yeah, I love Tetris. I love Luminous. I love just everything under the sun. But Medios was like so addictive for me. I spent so many hours playing it locally and online because like every quote unquote character it was a planet with its own gravity and play style to how you would lift off these Medios. And so you would line them up, and it just became like, oh, do you line them up in small bursts or do you line them up as one giant massive thing? And like, oh my God, I loved it so much.
Oh, that's a good pick. Damn it. Okay. Nice, dude. Nice.
What is yours?
Okay, it is a hyper niche NES game that I have been trying to find its successor forever, and I don't think anyone else has ever made anything close to this. It's called the Tiny Toons Cartoon Workshop. Are you familiar with the Tiny Toons?
Tiny Toons, the old.
Yeah,
I remember that. I remember this.
Yeah.
I remember the show. I've never heard of this game.
This game was so weird. But I think it was overlooked because I think it was ahead of its time. So like, we're all sort of familiar with like the Steam film system, right? Where you can like it's not Steam, it's like Valve Filmworks or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So this is basically what it was, except you used a bunch of characters from the Tiny Toons world. The thing that gets me is that you basically could do anything. Like you could make like the most offensive piece of cartoon ever created. And like I mean I was a kid when I played it, but like, and I know the nostalgia glosses are like there, but like it was so ahead of its time, especially in the realm of like content creation, that it's just like, dude, this would be amazing. Like if someone had a copy of this and just did shorts on these, it would be fucking hilarious. And so it's like everyone I've ever mentioned this game to looks at me like I'm having a fever dream. And I'm like, that's not true. It existed. I rented it for like 2 weeks straight just because I just kept pumping stuff out. And it was crazy. Because you couldn't export it to anything. You just could play it in the game. So I'd constantly be grabbing my siblings. I'm like, look at this stupid thing that I made. And they're just like, okay, Jay. And then roll their eyes and walk away. But it's just...
interesting.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I've written whole concepts of games around this exact system. Like I was like, what if I made one for Final Fantasy Tactics? What if you could use the tactics, animations, and engine and have them say whatever you want? Are you kidding me? Like there actually is a Instagram account where someone just uses tactics sprites to say like left-leaning memes.
Oh yeah, the political.
Yeah. Which I'm like
that one.
Could you imagine if they had a game? We would have shorts of this stuff. So
my favorite one that they post is always the Godzilla ones. Like Godzilla has destroyed the financial district.
Yeah, it's like yay. So yes, that is my criminally overlooked fever dream of a game. Yeah.
Nice. I think we both went really niche and got our viewers just Googling stuff.
Yeah. I expect the internet to blow up with Cartoon Workshop games now.
But Jay, what game, knowing the Tiny Toons Cartoon Workshop is likely to resurface, but what other game from that period of time needs a remake?
Okay. Light caveat.
Or from any time.
Light caveat. I want it to get the Final Fantasy remake treatment. like the we might screw with some of the story elements treatment, because that would be
from that aspect. Okay.
Yeah. But I also want the visual treatment. It's Chrono Trigger. Come on, Square. Come on, you cowards. Just remake Chrono Trigger.
So you'd want it to get a huge overhaul then?
I would like, not even just the HD 2D, because I think they could do it. That's fine, right? But that, I wouldn't call that a remake. I think if they gave it the full on, and I'd actually love like a different style than what they did for like Advent Children. Like, it would be kind of cool if they did like Advent Children sort of Arcane-esque painted kind of graphics for the characters, so that it could be true to the original art style. But then, like, just throw a bunch of side beats out where it's like, there isn't 10 endings, there's 25, right? There's a bunch of new things you can do, and it's like, what? That would be killer. I would, yeah, that is my remake of remakes. How about you, bud?
You scared me, because you said the same thing I was going to say. I want this to be remade in the same way as Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, really?
But for me, it was the mechanics. I like the play style of the Final Fantasy VII remake, where it's a little bit, you can pause, you can choose actions, and then you can go back to the real-time action.
Yeah.
But, and it almost saw a remake of some sort, and it didn't happen. But that's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, yes.
I love that game very much. I think that game is one of the best Star Wars stories that they've put out. And that game, honestly, paved the way for I think the Final Fantasy VII remake, because it was doing that. It was and like, I think the early Mass Effects were doing it too, where you would pause it to assign actions to you and your team, and then they would just enact it. And like, I look at that as like some of the DNA of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But with that, yeah, with the visual upresing and just like bringing a larger cinematic feel to it, I think would be really cool. Yeah, I loved, like, the first time I stepped on Dantooine was one of the crazy, like, that was such a moving moment for me, of like, whoa, I'm in Star Wars worlds that I've read in the books, that like, it's not on the movie screen, it was only in the pages, and now I'm seeing it, and it's like, it's beautiful.
That's good pick. Solid pick, man. Ooh, we're getting into contentious territory on this next grid.
Let's go. I'm ready to get dirty. What's your overrated game?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Big asterisk.
Really?
I am a nerdy person that was not an Xbox boy.
Okay.
And I very much kind of resented the people that were sort of into this game's franchise, which also includes some of the people we know. So, I say this without hesitation. Gears of War is overrated.
What? I have questions. Why the resentment?
The people that I ever had that I interacted with that were huge Gears of War fans were very similar to the sort of vitriolic Call of Duty like bros, where it's just like I was like, your other favorite game is Madden, isn't it? Like, I would just like stare at them, kind of thing, because it was like very jockey, bro-y, like heavy testosterone, like, yeah, Gears of War, bro. I was like, no, that's not it, gang. That's not my favorite thing. And the thing is, like, I had plenty of people shout me down, like, the mechanics are good. I'm like, you're right, but it was almost the fan base that killed it for me. Where I was like, I'm just not gonna play a Gears of War game. I'm sorry, I think they're overrated now. Like, and just. Yeah. Oof.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna catch so much flack. I'm gonna catch so much flack, especially since people have been watching our freaking channel because of like Marathon and Arc Raiders, and they're gonna like, this little freaking. Are you kidding me right now? You're gonna slander one of the OG gun games? Like, come on.
I think it speaks to I feel like in this specific topic we have to spend a little bit of time of. It speaks to how you experience a game really impacts how that game can. Like resonate or not resonate with you, or disconnect you from a game base or a player base or community. And I think in our generation, seeing those early levels of like Call of Duty or this, or even any other fandom where the fan base gets extreme about anything, which we still see today.
We do.
We saw a lot of it then of like, oh, yeah, I'm either really into that and I'm diving in with it, or I'm very not, like, I don't enjoy that and I now don't want to engage with that entire genre or fan base. And like, I know people that have been like, I don't want to play first person shooter because all I think about is Call of Duty or is like that kind of stuff. And it's like, like that's how your introduction was to it. So that's a bummer, but yeah.
What's your hot take, sir?
I don't know. I had a conversation yesterday about this very game because they were also like, I don't understand why this game is so popular, and it is probably the most popular game by financial standards anywhere.
Okay.
And that is Grand Theft Auto. I don't get why people like Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
I understand. I tried to make an argument to understand it. I think there's something about that freedom that it offers, and that there is also the multiplayer plus the freedom in the last one in 5 that has made it such a household name. But over the years, I think it was people just enjoyed like being able to do whatever they wanted, and like it is that what is it called, Westworld. That was that show. It was very much like the, hey, come here, no consequences, do whatever you want.
I'm gonna do.
My biggest thing with this game is like I don't like it has to grab me in a really specific way, but like to just set it in present day in today's world. I like games where it's a sci-fi spin or a fantasy spin or some spin. The games that have been most Grand Theft Auto like that I can think of that I really resonated with because of I like the world it built was like Cyberpunk or even of the old Xbox generation with like Hulk Ultimate Destruction. I just like being the Hulk and doing those things. Rather than just being just another person doing those things. And I was like, I don't know. It disconnected for me, and I was like, this is more like the way you were grouping games and thinking of a typical trope of a person. I grouped Grand Theft Auto with like people that like racing sims when I was younger, and I was like, oh, you're a different type of gamer that I do not connect with at all. And what I would find enjoyable of gaming. And so I don't think I don't know, something about it just was like I never played one. I've never played one.
So it's interesting, and I mean we can dive into this maybe when GTA 6 comes out, but like there was a very specific moment when GTA hit for me that I was like, I get it now. Like it's like that Danny DeVito like zoom in shot where it's like, I get it now. Like it it was actually the multiplayer aspect. It wasn't the single player. It's the Westworld of it, right? Where it's just like you can do whatever you want. But the thing is, like, I follow the traffic signals when I play Grand Theft Auto. Like, I'm that guy, which is why the Gears of War guys hated me, right? But it's like there's an aspect to it, and like there's all these like role playing servers and stuff like that, which like I fully get how people can kind of get into the game. I think it was like the sandbox of it, right? But it's like it is basically part of like the sort of pop culture lexicon at this point, right? Like
100%.
There's the whole meme of just like we got so and so before we got GTA 6. Like all right, man. That's what's your underrated game then? If that was your overrate.
I don't think many people today know about this game.
Okay.
So I know the IP Wolfenstein I know is a pretty popular name in the lexicon of, like, as you were saying, of like shooters. Like people think of, okay, there's Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein is a name, it's BJ Blazkowicz killing Nazis. Like
Yep.
And it was so much a single player shooting game. But I remember growing up, I was playing Medal of Honor, Allied Assault, and I was like, the early Call of Duties were still World War II. World War II was the thing back then, before Modern Warfare stuff. Battlefield 1942 was like right about to come out, and I remember Wolfenstein was working on a new game, and they just didn't make it happen. And so the story part of it never came to fruition. But they had made a multiplayer, and they were like, this is going to be released for free, so people can they would be able to go to their ID's website, download it for free, and play this multiplayer game called Wolfenstein Enemy Territory. And so,
man, I love that game.
I have spent so much of my first person shooter time. I thought it was Medal of Honor, and I did a little bit of the early Call of Duty, but I loved Wolfenstein Enemy Territory, and it was the Allied Axis. You could play as either side. You had the voice commands, and I learned a lot of German because of this game. Because a lot of time I would just there was the voice command for Schnell or like Bitte and all this stuff. It's like just basic words, but I like okay, yeah, I understand. But then what I loved about it was if you stayed on a server, it would cycle through all the maps. And if you picked a class, there was like 5 or 6 classes. There was spy, soldier, field ops, medic, and engineer. 5 classes.
Yeah.
And they would level. And when you leveled, depending on whether you leveled you would just level. But depending on the class, you had class attributes that would improve or unlock new things. For instance, the engineer, or no, I'll use the covert ops as an example. Covert ops, you would be able to kill people of the other team and take their clothes and act like you were one of them.
Yeah.
If you were level 1, your name wouldn't if the enemy saw you, if they hovered over you, there would be no username above you. So it'd be like, oh, easy spot.
Yeah.
If you got to higher levels, it would show the name of the person you killed. And numerous other things that would just like improve too, like your cooldowns for like being able to blow up the checkpoint spots. You could throw a backpack on it. The engineer could spot landmines of the enemy and mark them or diffuse them at the higher levels. I like that leveling, the RPG-ness of it. It felt like it felt like a weird class shoot, like a hero class shooter, but with like that World War II thing.
Yeah.
And man, I loved it. I loved it so much. I was so good at that game. I was murdering so many people.
Yeah, that's such a solid pick. Yeah, because like, the RPG mechanic of it, where you had a role and you would level it up because that was the one you were good at. Like that was that hit really nice.
And like I remember like the medic could do full heals at max level and stuff like that. But that was like when people point out like those nostalgia clips of like my Winamp player on and the visualizer while they're playing a game. This was the game I was playing while I had my Winamp visualizer on with our playlist.
That's great. That's so good.
What's your underrated game?
Okay, so the thing that gets me is like I feel like this is one of those games that like released and the people that really like it like are fervent fans of it. Like they just like it. I see clips of it all the time, but it's like I don't think it ever really hit the sort of like general gamer base the way that I feel like it deserved, and that is Sifu. So the martial arts sort of like action simulator where you're basically playing like a Hong Kong star going through a revenge quest.
Oh my god, yeah!
It's such a good game.
And I love that game.
Yeah, and it's just like people are like, yeah, roguelikes, this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, do you not understand how dope this game is? Like the kind of crazy 100-person combos that you could do. Like you can recreate the raid in this game. There is an actual sequence where it sets up that camera. Like,
no, for the sequence I remember was very Old Boy-esque.
The Old Boy. Yeah, you're right. It was the Old Boy one. But that isn't the raid. You're right. That is an Old Boy one. I think there's a kitchen fight though. That reminds me. There
was John Wick, the raid. Yeah. I think it was definitely homaging to so many different sequences.
Yeah, it was like the love letter to like every action martial arts film that you could think of, and it was so good. Like it had like aspects of like Kill Bill in the aesthetic, which I was just like, what? Where did that? It like, and the thing is like, I'll bring it up and people are like, what is that game? And I'm like, oh, like you don't understand. And I'll share it with them, and that was. I don't know, because like I literally loaded it up on my PS5 again, and I just started playing through it, and I was like, "This is amazing. Why are people not talking about how amazing this game is? Like, where is Sifu 2?" Like, so
that studio's team has done such a weird pivot to, like in an impressive way, but like they pivoted to the rematch, the soccer game.
Yes,
and so I hope they do revisit the Sifu world, but I also I know they have interest in doing a wide variety of things.